Long ago, humanity was completely united. One people, one language, one ambition that nearly changed the world. After the great flood in the days of Noah, the earth began to fill with people once again. Families grew. Children were born. Villages became communities. All of humanity spoke one language. Every word was understood. Every voice sounded familiar. People could travel anywhere in the world and speak freely with one another. Humanity was united like never before. And as the generations moved across the earth, they arrived at a vast open land known as the Plain of Shinar. It was rich soil, flat land, a perfect place to build a great city. But something began to grow in the hearts of the people. Not gratitude, not humility, but ambition. As the city grew larger, the people began discussing a bold idea, a project so great that it would make their civilization famous forever. They said to one another, "Let us build a city." But then someone suggested something even greater. "Let us build a tower that reaches to the heavens." The people loved the idea. A tower taller than anything the world had ever seen. A tower that would make their name known across generations. But their hearts revealed something dangerous. They said, "Let us make a name for ourselves." The people discovered a new building method. Instead of stone, they made bricks from clay. They baked the bricks in fire until they became strong and durable. And instead of mortar, they used thick black tar to bind the bricks together. Soon, thousands of workers filled the construction site. Brickmakers, carriers, builders, engineers. Layer by layer, the tower began to rise. The greatest construction project in human history had begun. Years passed. The tower continued to grow, higher and higher. From far away, travelers could see the massive structure rising from the plains like a mountain built by human hands. The city around it flourished. People celebrated their achievement. They believed their tower would stand forever. They believed nothing could stop them. But heaven was watching. But the tower was not just a building. It had become a symbol of human pride. The people believed they could reach heaven by their own strength. They believed they no longer needed God. And so the Lord looked down upon the city. He saw their unity. He saw their pride. And God said something powerful. If they continue like this, nothing they plan will be impossible for them. But their hearts were not humble, and so God decided to act. One ordinary morning, the workers returned to the tower. They picked up their tools. They began their work. But something strange happened. One builder gave instructions, but his friend could not understand him. Another worker shouted directions, but the words sounded unfamiliar. Suddenly, languages changed. Voices became confusing. People spoke different tongues. The unity of humanity shattered. Chaos spread across the construction site. Without a shared language, the people could no longer work together. The tower project stopped. Families gathered with those who spoke the same language. Groups began leaving the city. Some traveled north. Others journeyed south. Some crossed rivers and mountains. Humanity began spreading across the entire earth, just as God had intended from the beginning. The tower remained unfinished, silent, abandoned. The city became known as Babel, because there God confused the languages of the world. What began as human pride ended as human scattering, and the unfinished tower stood as a reminder. No matter how high humans build, they can never rise above God. The Tower of Babel is not just a story about the past. It is a warning, a lesson about pride. Even today, humanity continues to build towers, towers of wealth, towers of power, towers of fame. But the story of Babel asks a question that every generation must answer. Are we building our lives to glorify God, or are we building towers to glorify ourselves? Because history has already shown us what happens when pride reaches too high. So the question remains, what kind of tower are you building?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more animated Bible mysteries every week.